Network Entertainment.
Hello to everyone all over the world. Magkakasama na naman tayo sa isang gabing puno ng kwentuhan, tawanan, bardagulan. Dito pa rin sa Ganito Kasi Yan, powered by the Pod Network. At kasama niyo pa rin ng inyong wandering go-getter ng Quezon City. It's your boy, Jacob. At for this special episode kung saan mag-i-introduce tayo ng bagong segment, makakasama natin Sparks Camp Season 4, Season 3 camper and content creator, Kim Bejarano.
Hello. Thank you
Kamusta,
for the invite. Thanks for
Kim?
having me. Okay naman, lately very busy with my day job. I work in advertising. Honestly, very busy season namin ngayon. And on the side, ayun, I do content. And ngayon, nag-workshop din ako for acting. So
Oh.
tinuloy ko yung acting workshops ko.
What keeps you busy naman ngayon, like especially sa industry after you did Sparks Camp, after you did ghosting?
Right, so after Sparks Camp, I did Ghosting with Ants. Kasi
Yeah.
same director, it's with Direct Ted,
Direct
yung
Ted.
director namin ng Sparks Camp. So we did that and that was really fun. And then soon after, I also signed with Star Magic as my exclusive talent management. So parang nagbukas din siya ng different doors sa amin, both me and Ants. We recently did a campaign with Bench din. That's for
Yeah.
Valentine's. So that was pretty exciting. Really fun too. And then ngayon, mas nagfo-focus lang ako sa workshops talaga.
Pero before all the Sparks Camp and everything, was this really something you really wanted to do? You aim to get to?
Actually, hindi talaga.
Really?
Kasi I've lived a very private life. Introverted ako. And usually ayokong nasa harapan ng camera. Just because parang ayokong nakabantay yung mga tao sa galaw ko or parang ayoko lang nakikita. I don't like being seen talaga. So, malayo yung ginagawa ko ngayon sa element ko. Pero, na-realize ko rin na I'm in my 20s, which is a time of my life na I could be discovering different things and trying out new things.
Actually, yung 20s, feeling ko yun din yung era wherein you could see kung ano yung for you and not for you.
Exactly.
Pero what made you say yes or what made you go for it na to try out acting, to try out the opportunities out there after Sparks Camp? Kasi I know some other campers, parang yung career path that they chose was like going back to their day jobs and
Yes.
everything. So how about you? What was like the navigation of those decisions post Sparks Camp?
Actually, medyo firm ako sa decision ko noon. When we finished filming Sparks Camp, nagkaroon kami ng debriefing noon individually per camper. So, si Direct Ted...
Parang PBB pala.
Yes, so may debriefing din naman kami with the producers and the director. So parang, kumusta? How's the experience for you? Anong plano mo after? So sinabi ko talaga, ang plano ko after is babalik na talaga ako sa day job ko. Kasi I've been doing that for...
This was still the advertising.
Yes. So, mag 4 years na ako doon actually.
Oh, wow.
So, ayun, after Sparks Camp, ang alam ko lang talaga is, babalik na talaga ako sa day job ko kasi yun naman talaga yung nakasanayan kong gawin. And then, Directed asked me, sabi niya, wala ka bang plano mag-artista? Tapos ako sabi ko, wala po. Kasi nga, hindi ako magaling sa camera talaga, hindi ako comfortable. So parang, may sinabi lang siya nung line sa akin na parang napaisip din talaga ako. Sabi niya, alam mo, bata ka pa, you shouldn't be closing your doors or anything. And tama, napaisip ako na, oo nga naman. Parang, I was so firm with the decision na, ayoko i-try mga bagay na yan. Pero, I'm young. Dapat ngayon ako nagtatry and nag-figure out ng mga bagay-bagay.
I agree. And so, ang dami mo ding na-try in the last year.
Exactly.
And last year was a monumental or parang very significant year for Kim.
Yes.
Dahil dito, may major season na nangyari sa life mo wherein you joined a queer dating reality show that we know you from also, Sparks Camp. So, given nga your background na very introverted ka, very shy, how did you get there? As a introverted person, ano yung interest mo into getting into a dating reality show? Kasi,
Right.
syempre, isipin mo din na parang you're putting your love life out there, ikikwento mo sa mundo lahat nung, lalo na yung ang dami mong i-reveal na secrets.
Yes.
Kilalang kilala na ng mga tao ang love life mo.
Tama.
So, what made you want to do it?
Well, I've been a fan of Spark Scam. I've seen season 1 and season 2.
Mm.
But never ko rin naman talaga naisip na magiging camper ako. There was this one time na I traveled to La Union with a friend. Actually,
Mm.
kasama si Yanni yun. So, I was with Yanni and a friend. Tapos, parang sabi niya, uy, parang malapit na yata magpa-audition yung Sparks Camp. Parang audition kaya tayo. Tapos parang ako, sabi ko, sige, audition tayo. Pero alam mo yung parang, sige lang, bahala na.
For the experience.
For the experience. Eh, hindi ko naman alam na seryosohin naming dalawa na mag-audition talaga kami. So, nag-post ng casting call, magsasubmit lang naman ng video, hindi naman yun mag-post. Eh ako nga, private nga ako.
Oo.
So, parang sabi ko, kung magpo-post yan, hindi ako magsasubmit.
Pero private
Pero private
submission.
naman, private submission naman siya. So, parang, okay, sige nga, try ko nga to. Biggest challenge pa sa akin nun, yung sa video, ang requirement nila is show us parang a 1-minute slice of life. So, parang ipakita mo kung anong ginagawa mo sa isang araw. Work from home talaga ako nun. Like, wala akong office days. Sabi ko, ano ipapakita kong slice of life? Tapos wala rin akong activities outside work. As in, work, bahay lang kasi talaga ako.
Work from home ka nun. So,
work from home ako
bahay-bahay
nun.
lang.
So, yung video ko, nagtutupi ako. Yung audition video ko, nagtutupi ako ng damit. Tapos parang in-explain ko na work from home ako. So, parang wala ako masyado may ipakita. But maybe they saw something dun sa personality ko sa video
Gusto
ko.
ka na i-take out of the house.
Yes. But also, na-realize ko lang din na, I lived a very private life. Even yung circle of friends ko, I keep them small. So, I think, during that time, naisip ko rin na, okay rin naman na maka-meet ng ibang tao. Okay rin na ma-expand ko yung network ko. Okay rin na makarinig ako ng kwento ng ibang tao. Maybe may matututunan ako from it. So, ayun, parang I think it was a baby step towards like opening myself up.
Pero later in the casting process, kasi syempre, submission is one thing.
Right.
Ang dami pang other steps niyan, kikilalanin ka.
Yes.
Kasi as someone na nag-go through din ng PBB, alam ko din yung kikilalanin ka nila, alamin nila yung kwento mo, pipigain nila lahat ng ano mo,
Yes.
lahat ng sikretong pwede nilang makuha. What made you say yes to go all throughout until the end? And siguro when they told you were casted, kasi 'di ba si Julio, he was also intending to back out.
Yes.
Ikaw, what made you go for it na okay, tinanggap niyo ako, I'm going to that camp?
Okay. Well, actually, it happened, like everything happened way too fast. I think the deadline for the submission for the video was April 11th last year. I submitted mine the day before. So April
Wow.
10th. Kasi parang nag-hesitate pa ako sa submit ko ba or hindi. So nag-submit ako April 10th.
Pero yung friend mo, do you know if nag-submit din siya?
Nag-submit siya, pero nag-submit siya a day after the
Hindi na
deadline.
umabot.
Na-submit niya, pero hindi ko alam if pinanood pa. Kasi
Oo.
from what I remember from Directed, parang nasa 700 lang yung napanood nila or na-screen nilang audition videos. Pero after the cut-off, parang meron pang nasa 500 or 600
Oh
more
my God.
na hindi nila napanood. So ayun, I guess
Ang
they were
dami
very
din
strict sa
nun.
deadline.
Oo.
But anyway, ayun, so nag-submit ako ng April 10th. I got an email for a callback ng April 13th and then I went to ABS-CBN for a
Ang
callback
bilis, ah.
ng April 14th. And then I got a message na I was officially casted by April 17th. So super bilis. From April 10th to April 17th, yun na yung entire journey ko
Oo.
na nakast ako. Tapos from April 17th to first week of May, yun yung, I guess, preparation ko from getting casted to start to filming. Doon ako nakapag-isip na, tama ba itong ginagawa? Tama ba itong pinasok ko?
Doon na
ko palang
nag-aano yung
do'n lang
doubts
nag-sink in, do'n lang
na
sa'kin nag-sink
totoo na
in.
'to.
Oo, na parang, hala, tama ba 'tong ginawa ko? And I was honest naman do'n sa doubts ko.
Mm.
Merong producer na in charge sa communication sa'min kapag may hinihinging requirements or materials. Sa kanya ako nag-express ng,
Hesitation.
hesitation, and nagsabi talaga ako na parang may hinihingi kasi siyang requirement, parang a video. Tapos parang sabi ko, "Puwede pong bigyan niyo ako ng extension kasi honestly parang nag-iisip ako mag-back out." Kasi
Mm.
parang hindi ko hindi ko siya personality.
Oo.
Parang baka mas kailanganin ng show ng someone na mas maipapakita kung sino talaga sila, or mas willing na maging all out, maging open book. Kasi ako nga, I've lived a very private life. I don't like sharing anything about myself. So baka mapahama ko lang din sila, or
Mm.
like makulangan lang din sila sa kaya kong ibigay.
Nakulangan pa sila sa lagay na yun, Ang dami mong content na
Right.
na-offer.
Hindi, pero ayun naman, honestly, nagkaroon ako ng reassurance nun from the producer. Kasi sabi niya, I understand where you're coming from. To be honest, ready naman kami if ever mag-back out ka. Meron silang mga backup
Wait,
campers. Oo, so meron silang parang 5. And
paano
kasi
na lang
ano
kung
siya
more
eh,
than 5?
parang ang nangyari is, casting pa lang,
Mm.
minatchmake na nila kami. Tinry
Oh!
na nila. Kasi parang ayun nga, sa season 2 parang ang nangyari doon kasi is nagmarehan na lang lahat. So
Oo.
this season, they actually tried to matchmake, auditions pa lang. So naka-personality.
Kaya pala parang ano
So
na,
yung
episode 1 pa lang meron na agad na
yes. So yung backup ko, medyo close sa personality ko. Yes. So
ah.
ganun yung parang naging casting process ata nila from what I
Oo.
heard. So ayun, so sabi nila kung you decide na hindi tumuloy, we'll be okay. Kasi meron naman kaming backup camper. But we would really love to have you there.
Priority
Hindi naman, hindi naman.
choice.
Pero syempre, ako napaisip din ako na binigay nila yung trust sa akin. Parang out of how many auditionees, parang isa ako sa napili nila
Mm.
na maging camper. So, meron silang trust sa kwento ko, sa kaya kong ibigay sa personality ko. And ayun, parang along the way, na-realize ko lang din na maybe I should put that trust back sa kanila and trust in myself din.
Mm. And nakita naman natin na umabot ka talaga hanggang dulo. And for those who haven't seen the show, can you tell us more like about it, what
Sure.
happened, and ano yung naging conclusion ng journey mo?
Okay, well, Sparks Camp is the first queer dating reality show in the Philippines, and my season was the 3rd season of Sparks Camp. Yung journey ko actually, it's very, I would say it was a slow burn journey. Kasi for the first few episodes, di talaga ako nagsasalita, and
Mm.
evident rin siya kahit nung nag-film kami. I
Pero
remember,
visible ka sa edit,
siguro kasi parang tinatry lang nila magkaroon ng equal distribution sa lahat. Pero ang nangyayari kasi sa akin noon, nagsasalita lang ako kapag kinakausap ako. Pero hindi ako nakakapag-initiate ng conversations. So I think it was second day of filming when nagfi-film na sila, tapos pinula ko on the side. Tapos parang sabi nila, may nagsabi sa akin na, sa tingin mo may lalandi sa'yo. Wala kang kinakausap, hindi ka lumalandi, meron ka pang resting bitch face. Sa tingin mo may lalandi sa'yo. Tapos ako parang sabi ko, sorry po. So parang, well, tama siya. Tama naman
So
sila.
nag-change of strategy.
Hindi naman,
Ay, hindi
ako
ba?
kasi hindi naman ako naging strategic about my camp journey. Pero parang, naging wake-up call lang siya sa akin na, if I'm really here to build connections, hindi talaga ako makabuild na connection with, like, nakaupo lang ako sa corner. Kung nakaupo lang ako sa corner. So
So ano yung
ayun,
change of
it was like a wake-up call. So, doon ako mas nag-try kumausap ng fellow campers. Doon ko tinry, kasi, for the first few days, mas naging observant lang kasi ako. So, nakikinig ako sa stories nila, pero, like, ayun lang, para lang akong bystander, para lang akong nakikinig. So, nung nakausap na ako, andun ako na, uy, I heard nga pala, tumira ka raw sa Siargao, ganon.
Mm.
How was that for you? Nagtry ako mag-build ng conversation from what I know about them, from what I heard sa kanila. And doon na nag-start. Kaya yung sa amin ni Ants, hindi pa siya nag-start until episode 3 or 4 eh. Parang nakapag-wrestling kami ng episode 2,
Oo.
pero hindi talaga kami nag-usap. Yung parang moment namin sa bench. Hindi pa yun, parang episode 4 pa yun.
Mm.
So I would say halfway pa talaga nung nakapag-start ako mag-warm up. Matagal ako nakapag-warm up sa camp.
Pero would you say ba na in the camp, may opportunity talaga like parang to like find like that love at first sight or that kind of spark moment talaga?
Well, ako personally, hindi kasi ako naniniwala sa love at first sight. But naniniwala ako sa if we vibe, we vibe. So feeling ko yung potential, yung spark na yon. Sometimes makikita mo siya just by listening to someone tell their story, or sometimes makikita mo lang na siya yung nagbibigay ng pinagtitimplahan niya ng kape lahat ng campers. So parang ako, may makikita kang spark or potential doon eh, na ito bang acts of service na ginagawa niya, ito ba yung something na gusto ko sa isang partner? Or itong kwento niya parang ito ba yung the kind of personality or the kind of person na gusto ko pang mas makilala? Or yung humor ba na sinishare niya, do we share the same humor? Feeling ko ba kapag nasa own bubble na kami and mas makilala ko siya, feeling ko ba kaya kong maging ako kapag siya yung kasama ko? So mas ganun, parang kasi doon sa 9 campers na kasama ko, hindi naman lahat doon parang feeling ko may spark ako with. Meron lang ako parang iniisip na feeling ko pwede dito sa mga taong
Pero
to.
other than ants, meron ka pang mga
Yes,
nakitaan?
Julio was my second pick.
Mm.
Julio.
He was your pick nung unang
Yes, we had a
diba?
mutual spark nung first episode. Yeah.
Pero ano yung nangyari naman doon? Bakit parang hindi mo na see in the future or dinala elsewhere in the
Right.
episodes?
So, ayun nga, nagkaroon kami ng mutual spark ni Julio, but the morning after we had a mutual spark, I expected na magkakaroon kami ng chance to talk. Pero while we were preparing breakfast, parang nag-decide siyang pumunta dun sa other group na nag-workout.
Mm-mm.
So ako parang, napaisip lang ako na, nakampante ba siya agad dun?
Hindi na cultivate ang
Oo,
ang
kasi
potential.
for me, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng mutual spark, parang we build on it.
Mm-mm. Totoo.
Pero nung time na nag-mutual spark kami, the morning after, parang I felt like humiwalay pa siya.
Mm-mm.
So sabi ko, baka may iba pa siyang gustong kilalanin. Like, baka vibe check niya lang kung mag-match kami.
Mm-mm.
So ayun, parang ako, okay, hindi rin naman ako magsasettle dito just because nagkaroon kami ng mutual spark ng isang gabi. Kasi marami pang araw dito sa camp. Marami pa akong pwedeng kilalanin din. So ayun, hindi ko naman din siya dinibdib kasi alam ko may opportunities pa to get to know him. Also, I don't think it made the cut, but I actually talked to him about it. Parang basta I would say mid filming na yon. So nakausap ko siya noon. Parang nagsusorry siya. Parang sabi niya, it's just that parang yung vibe natin hindi click, ganon. Tapos ako parang sabi ko, okay lang. Sabi ko, you don't have to say sorry kasi we're here to discover and build sparks. Parang you don't have to sorry kasi you don't have to say sorry kasi for sure kung hindi man mag-work yung spark natin, I'm sure meron tayong spark sa ibang bagay, maybe friendship na mas may enrich natin in the future, maybe when we go outside the camp na.
At may na-enrich ka ngang spark later on. So, how did it feel na, kasi in the past seasons, parang konti lang yung may na-end up na spark or may mutual spark. How did it feel na for you, yung conclusion ng journey mo ay you had a mutual spark and it's with Ants?
Honestly, ano siya sa akin eh. It was surprising. Kasi unlike the other seasons where they were able to reveal kung kanino nila or kung sino yung nagbigay sa kanila ng spark on different days.
Mm.
Sa amin, yung day one ko lang nalaman kung kanino nang galing, which is from Julio. But the succeeding nights, hindi ko alam kung kanino nang galing. So yung mga spark na natatanggap ko sa box,
Hindi yung
I was never sure kung kanino yung galing. Actually, yung second and third sparks giving, nung airing na lang na episodes ko nalaman na kay Ans talaga siya galing. Never kong na-confirm at all kung kay Ans siya nang galing.
Okay.
So, nung airing, nung napapanood na natin lahat, dun ko lang siya nalaman, kay Ans pala galing yun. Yeah.
So, hindi pala siya something na you already saw coming na ito yung pairings na mangyayari in the end.
Ako hindi.
Na mag-mutual siya.
Yeah. Actually, kasi yung sa amin ni Ans, again, it was like a slow burn journey. So, hindi ko alam na kapag iba ba yung kausap niya, baka may nabubuo rin siyang ibang spark. Kasi it wasn't super strong.
Mm-mm.
Kasi, nakakapag-usap kami, may kilig moments naman, nagkaroon kami ng different understanding sa opinions namin sa life. Pero ayun nga, hindi ako nagkaroon ng guarantee na kay Ans to galing. And parang mas mapagtitibay ko pa to the next days here sa camp. Ang alam ko lang, nakakatanggap rin siya ng 2 or more sparks. So meron akong competition.
Oo.
So parang it's either pagbutihin ko pa na kilalanin siya or parang
Put it elsewhere.
yes, or maybe lose the chance na talaga sa kanya. So yun, ayun nga, nung final sparks giving, doon ko lang nalaman na mutual spark kami, and then it was fun and all at that time. Parang wow, like as someone na introverted talaga and very private, parang kaya ko palang mag-build ng spark with someone, especially dun sa time frame na nandun kami sa camp. After the camp kasi, like after we filmed the entire thing, hindi na kami talaga nag-usap ni Ants. Yeah, so like what I discussed sa reunion episode naman, he stopped talking to me immediately after the camp. So, ako nun, parang, okay, maybe meron pa siya talagang need i-figure out on his own, and that's okay. So, hindi nagkaroon sa akin ng pressure to make it work. Kasi alam ko na pagkalabas pa lang ng camp, hindi na talaga siya nag-work. Or hindi na nagkaroon ng effort to make it work. Yung sa dynamics naman namin ni Ants, or I guess yung sa naging chemistry and relationship namin, hindi talaga siya nag-start until airing na. Yeah.
So, nagkaroon ng reconnection
Yes.
nung nag-air na yung
Nung nag-air na yung show. Kasi nga, he was seeing someone else after the camp.
Okay.
And then parang things didn't work out. And then, nung time na nag-air na yung Sparks Camp, parang doon lang siya nagkaroon ng effort to maybe try to get to know me more. But ako, andun rin ako sa point na
medyo guarded na.
Guarded ako, and parang 2 months ago lang naman yun.
May history.
May history. Fresh pa lahat. So, yeah, andun lang ako sa fini-figure out ko lang din kung anong nangyayari, saan ba ito papunta. Hindi ko naman sinarado yung doors ko completely, but ayun lang, I never had that pressure to make it work. Kasi from the beginning, alam ko namang hindi talaga siya nag-work. Yeah, but I like that we maintained chemistry.
So, during the time after nung mutual spark, wala kang feeling na, okay, this can go somewhere. Nung time na nag-mutual spark kayo, or during the time filming, did you think na may mapatutunguhan to?
Akala ko meron talaga siyang patutunguhan. Pero ayun nga, I tried reaching out, nagdaan pa yung birthday niya, pero hindi niya talaga ako nire-replyan. Kung re-replyan niya ako, it would either take him like 8 hours, 12 hours, or the next day for him to respond. So parang, I just read the room na, obviously, hindi siya willing. So, okay.
And post-show or during the airing,
Okay.
ang daming expectations.
Yes.
Syempre, ang daming mga kinilig, ang
Aha.
daming, ayun, na-amplify na ang Kim Ants. How did you navigate that? Kasi syempre for others, may pressure na,
Yes.
ay, may love team na, may ganitong nagpo-push na.
Mhm.
I-try, i-work, or how did you navigate na may expectations na since nag-mutual spark kayo to make it work?
Actually, hindi siya sa pag-navigate ng expectations. But while it was airing, of course, hindi ko pwedeng basagin yung
Oo.
entire show. Kasi it's still airing. Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin na, oh, hindi yan nag-work, guys. Siyempre, pinaghirapan yun. There's an entire team who worked hard
Yeah.
for that show. Hindi ko yung pwedeng basagin just because it didn't work out. Of course, I had to maintain chemistry with the entire cast
Mm-mm.
para like ambiguous pa rin sa kanila yung entire
Yung ending,
result
oo.
na parang baka kay Aaron siya mag-end up, baka kay Harold or baka kay Julio pala talaga. So kailangan may equal chemistry ako sa lahat.
Mm.
And so yun, happy naman kasi people really parang tumutok sila dun sa Kim Ants pairing, and may nabuo rin naman talaga kaming friendship ni Ants dun. So, it was easy for us. Visually, honestly, pag napapanood ko si Kim and si Ants sa show, kinikilig rin talaga ako pag pinapanood ko sila.
Gusto ko yung as a third person
Oo.
na yung hindi na ikaw yun.
But honestly, hindi naman sa hindi ako yon, pero like objectively, alam ko na may chemistry talaga kami ni Ants. So, alam ko na kahit hindi yun nag-work, post-show, alam ko na it's there. Kasi it's also something na very mahirap na ipilit yung chemistry. Mahirap yung ipilit. So kung natural yun sa amin dalawa ni Ants, then maybe meron tayong pwedeng i-build or i-work on, maybe.
May napatunguhan naman na bench. Oo.
Well,
Pero,
yeah.
pero marami ka ding nakwento ng reunion of trying to make it work and reigniting the potential. Siguro ang next kong question is, where did it go from there?
Tell. Hindi, tama. Yes, so nung time na film namin yung reunion, that was a time na hindi rin namin alam ni Ants what was going on. Parang, okay, we talk. We try to get to know each other as friends. We discover more things about each other. Pero, never kaming nagkaroon ng conversation. And parang, no one was brave enough to initiate a conversation na, saan ba to papunta? Or, may patutunguhan ba to? And I guess from there, parang hinayaan lang namin na mangyari kung ano man yung dapat mangyari or kung ano yung mangyayari. We eventually worked for Ghosting. Naging part kami ng cast ng Ghosting. And I guess after that, may gap kasi from that to the bench work. So matagal rin kaming hindi nagkita. So, hindi rin kami nagkaroon ng chance to catch up. Wala rin kaming motivation na mag-catch up sa time na hindi kami magka-work. Nakakapag-chikahan kami sometimes kasi may mga ganaps. Kunyari si Julio mag-i-invite ng party or may like mini gathering lang kami. So, gano'n lang kami nakikita pero never kami nagkaroon ng time na kami lang dalawa na gusto lang namin. Yeah. I guess yun yung nangyari. Pero while it was airing kasi, I guess, mas nakilala ko na siya during that time. I remember nakasama ko pa siya nun mag-condo hunt. So yun, nung time na while it was airing, parang, no? I was taking that time to get to know him and build the friendship.
Pero during that time, did you see it going somewhere? Especially na hindi na siya in the lens of may camera na nakasunod sa inyo, na it's just the two of you.
Honestly, hindi ko siya inisip. Hindi ko inisip na may potential pa ba to or may pupuntahan ba to. Parang andun, parang na naman. Magkaroon kayo ng parang word count
Parang
sa akin.
counter.
Anyway, mas andun ako sa kung ano man yung mangyari, yun na yun. But also, alam ko yun nangyari dati. Hindi sa bit-bit ko siya or I was holding grudge. But, nag-live lang ako dun sa facts. Sa history. So, I mean, I'm way past that.
Mm-mm.
Parang. Nung time na yon, way past that na talaga ako. Pero, hindi ko lang din kinukulong yung sarili ko and maging unfair na ginagawa ko lang to just because people were shipping us or pairing us. I didn't want it to be unfair to the both of us, to Ants, na ipipilit ko lang to just because may pairing. So kung gusto kitang kilalanin ng mas maigi at mas malalim, meron akong pinanggagaling at meron akong drive.
Mm-mm.
And during that time, yung drive ko mas andun sa solidify yung relationship namin as friends and as colleagues. And I think it worked naman for the both of us. Kasi mas naging stronger yung tandem namin together.
Mm-mm. And you work well as parang work partners,
Yes. Oo. I
And
would say
fair.
that too.
So at least parang hindi man siya nag-work as what people intended it to be sana. You found that scene partner
Yes.
that complements you well.
I
I
agree.
guess. That's how we can phrase that.
Yes. Pero before we got there, madami nagkakaroon kami ng mga tampuhan. So dun talaga namin na-navigate yung magiging dynamics namin as colleagues, as friends. So to get to where we are now, marami kaming pinagdaanan ni Ants.
Mm-mm. At marami naman kayong ding nalagpasan.
That's right.
And of course, another season that we wanted to talk about, kung kanina naman about love, ngayon let's talk about life.
Hello, welcome to Walang Edit with Lil and Lim with my co-host Judd Gregorio.
Hell yeah!
This is a new podcast where we talk about funny, unfiltered conversations, talk about dreams, passions, ambitions, fears,
Plans of revenge?
plans of revenge.
Mostly that.
Mostly that. So if you want to tune in, this is powered by the Pod Network Entertainment. So listen to us on Spotify. Thank you.
Even more. So before all this naman, you had that major shift. Moving to Canada, studying there, working there. What was life like during that time? And what was the hardest part of adjusting to a new beginning or a new phase in your life?
We moved to Canada in 2016. So I was born and raised here. Tapos, ayun, we moved ng 2016. I lived there for almost 7 years. And then I moved back here.
Oh, so when you did Sparks Camp, bagong balik ka lang here?
Not really. Parang kasi Sparks Camp was last year. I moved back here late November 2022.
Okay.
at
So medyo...
least, naka 3 years na rin ako dito sa Manila nung I did Sparks Camp. I was really against the idea of moving to Canada. I didn't want to move there kasi ayun, hirap akong mag-make ng friends. I tend to settle sa bubble ko. And I knew na moving to Canada would require me to step out of that bubble, make new friends, enter a new school, be in an entirely different environment. So ayoko, I was really against that idea. But andun rin ako I guess pinanghawakan ko nun yung idea na hindi naman din mawawala yung Pilipinas. Alam kong pwede ko naman siyang balikan if ever. And sabi ng parents ko, pwede ko naman i-try. Kung hindi ko magustuhan, okay, go, balik. Ganon. Pero, ayun, I tried. I really tried na mamuhay doon. For the first year, I would say 2016 was the darkest year of my life. Talaga. It really challenged me emotionally, mentally. nahirapan talaga ako mag-adjust. Sa mga tao nakikilala ko, I was always comparing them sa friends ko dito sa Pilipinas. Parang sabi ko, kapag nakakita ako ng galaw or nakakarinig ako ng salita, I would always compare na, oh, that's not something my friend would say. That's not something my friend would do. Parang sinarado ko yung sarili ko sa idea na ito yung standard ko ng friendships. Ito yung standard ko ng environment na gusto ko. And if hindi nyo ma-match yun, hindi ako pupunta dyan or hindi ako papasok dyan. So, nahirapan ako. I remember, sa high school kasi doon, first year high school is grade 9. So, lahat my friends, lahat kapag lunchtime nasa cafeteria, ako hahanap ako ng empty classroom. Tapos doon ako kakain. Tapos I would make sure na papatayin ko yung ilaw para hindi makita ng teachers na may estudyante sa loob na kumakain. Like, ayoko talagang mag-make ng friends. Ayoko magkaroon ng friend. Ayoko parang hindi sila yung taong gusto ko. And then, nagkaroon lang talaga ako ng friends nung nag-start na ako mag-work. I worked part-time for a fast food chain in Canada. Mas dun ako nagkaroon ng friends talaga. Parang,
Anong year ka nito?
I was 14 or 15 then. 14 or 15 when I started working. Kasi meron sila itong tinatawag na Young Workers Readiness Certificate. So parang certification lang siya na kaya niya i-manage yung school and yung work. And then may limit lang siya ng hours. And then ako, ang motivation ko nun to apply part-time is gusto kong bumili ng ticket pa uwi ng Pilipinas. Para, not to move back, but gusto kong umattend ng moving up ceremony ng classmates ko. Like, gusto ko silang mapanood, graduate.
Na-achieve naman
up.
ba?
Na-achieve yun.
Wow!
Na-achieve yun. At sinama ko yung parents ko. So, nag-ipon lang talaga, ipon. Para makauwi, and then, sama ko yung parents ko with me. Yeah, super fun. Kasi, while I was doing that, so I started making friends sa workplace, but also, I also discovered my potential. Kaya ko pala mag-lead. Kasi, ang time na yun, medyo dark nga yung era na yun. Parang wala akong motivation to learn anything new or discover more about myself. Motivation ko lang is gusto ko makauwi, gusto ko makahinga. But while I was working, trying to earn for a plane ticket, na-discover ko na kaya ko pala mag-lead ng tao. And so when I was 15 or 16, I started training to be a manager for that fast food chain. And
So, nakailang years ka doon?
I think 4 years ako doon overall.
Wow,
4 years. Yes, 4 years. So, I started training to be a manager. Naging difficult yung journey na yun sa akin kasi I was working with people who were double my age. Everybody's from different culture, religion, age, background. It's magkaiba. And then you're supposed to lead that while you're 15, 16. But I was officially a manager by the age of 17. So again, of course, habang nag-age ako, nag-age naman sila. So they were still double my age. But that was really the challenge. Paano ko ba makukuha yung trust nila? Paano ko ba kayang mag-coexist and lead people who are way different from who I am and what I believe in and what I see? Of course, I was also navigating my life in school. Kung anong path ba yung gusto kong i-take. As I was approaching college. So I was navigating way too many things at once. Pero what helped me get through that was, of course, my family and yung friends na nabuo ko sa workplace ko and sa school. So yeah. Overwhelming, no? Dami nangyari.
Medyo kailangan ko ng huminga ng konti. Okay. So, what was the point that made you start questioning? Lalo na nakapag-adjust ka naman, you were thriving already. Naging manager ka na.
Yes.
You were gaining friends. What was the point wherein you were questioning if this was still for you? If Canada was still the life?
Actually, it was never a question. Kasi I always knew
It wasn't.
na it wasn't for me. Right, tama ka. Ang dami kong na-achieve. I was making connections, friends. Marami akong
You're
nagagawa
starting to
doon.
assimilate na to fit in.
Yes. But, alam mo yung uuwi ka sa bahay, doing all that, you must be tired, pero you're never fulfilled.
Mm.
High school pa lang ako, nakabili ako ng car noon.
Wow.
From hard-earned money ko from working doon sa fast food chain. Again, syempre,
Grabe
medyo
ha.
malaki din naman yung kinikita ng manager doon.
Oo.
And then, nagpa-part-time din ako. While I was doing the managerial position, kapag days off ko, I would either, doon kasi may tinatawag na, basta may mga delivery kami. So I'd be delivering food. Since winter doon, sa car lang. So I was using my car to deliver food. And if hindi ko yun ginagawa, meron akong isang parang side hustle na marketing related siya, na nag-check lang ako ng parang marketing material sa mga different retail stores, kung tama ba. Parang ako nag-audit.
Mm.
So, marami akong rackets. So, yun, ang dami ko nagagawa. Honestly, by the time na nag-enter ako ng business school for college, buo na yung CV ko.
Mas
Meron
ano pa,
akong-
mas pack pa yung resume
Mas
mo
pack
ko.
pa. May managerial ako, may
Oo.
auditing, meron akong like service, may hospitality na din ako.
You were
kasi
ahead
during
of
that time,
ano.
yes. So, buo
your
talaga
peers.
buo na yung CV ko by the time na nag-enter ako ng college.
Mm-mm.
Pero yun, kahit basahin ko siya, uwi ako sa bahay, hindi ako fulfilled. Parang napupunta lang lahat sa pera, sa pagod, pero hindi ko nakikita na binubuo niya yung pagkatao ko. Hindi nagme-make sense lahat. Parang I was doing all of that kasi parte ako ng sistema. Pero hindi ko siya ginagawa kasi binubuo niya ako. Hindi ko yun na-realize nung time na yun. So, I always knew na andito talaga yung heart and yung trajectory ko. I just didn't know how. Kasi, again, wala naman akong degree.
Mm-mm.
Lahat ng family ko andon.
Mhm.
Wala na akong relatives dito na pwede kong like matuluyan or pumuntahan. Doon ako nag-aaral. So, wala talagang reason for me to live here.
Mm.
Up until my family parents decided to put up a business here.
Oh.
Yes. So that's one of the main reasons why I moved back. Kasi I had to manage that family business for a while.
Mm-mm.
And I was doing online school at that time kasi post-pandemic pa. So
Oo.
naka-online school pa in college. So while I was managing the family business, I was doing online school in college dito. So I was doing that. And then an opportunity came to become a freelance social media manager for the advertising agency that I'm still working with.
So that's your first job
Yeah, so
here in
nakapasok
Manila.
ako doon kasi I was just a freelance social media manager nung time na yon. So I was doing school, I was doing the family business, and I was doing the social media management
24
work.
hours ba yung araw mo? But parang hindi hindi 24.
I guess nasanay ako sa Canada na hustle culture.
Mm-mm.
I guess yun din yung tinry kong i-unlearn big time
Mm-mm.
nung nandito na ako sa Pilipinas. Kasi nung nasa Canada ako, I lived with a mindset na kapag hindi ako nagtatrabaho at hindi ako kumikita ng pera, nagsasayang ako ng oras.
Mm-mm.
So, kailangan kada oras ko bayad.
Mm-mm.
So, sanay akong nag-hustle. Sanay ako na kumikita. So, I guess nung time na nag-adjust ako here sa Philippines, gusto ko puno yung schedule ko and kumikita ako lagi. Yeah.
And what were the things that you had to adjust to? Kasi I know na parang, syempre you had to adjust there when you moved. But moving back here, given na ito naman yung kinalakihan mo, were there still things that you had to adjust to?
Of course. Kasi ngayon, nung nag-move ako dito, wala naman akong... Parents ko, they're both in Canada.
Until now.
Until now. So, living alone na talaga ako since I moved back.
Mm.
And then, of course, all the government stuff. sa Canada kasi parang isang government ID lang, tas lahat na nandun. Tas ako dito, pagdating ko, nag-apply ako ng SSS,
Na
Pag-ibig,
kailangan mo ng
PhilHealth.
ID.
Yes!
Paano ka mag-a-apply ng...
Sobrang stressful nun sa akin. Sabi ko, wala ba ako pwedeng utusan lang na mag-file na for me. Pero parang sabi ko, ang mahal din.
Oo.
So I had to do all of that alone.
Tapos bago ka maka-apply ng ID, kailangan may ID ka na.
pa. So parang paano to? Paano ko na gagawin? So sobrang hirap nung adjustment na yon. Tapos, ang tagal ko hindi tumira dito. So hindi ko alam yung kung saan to, ano yung nearest ganito sa akin, ano yung accessible na ganito sa akin. Hindi ako marunong mag-commute. Ang alam ko lang nun, Angkas or like Grab or ay, pwede mo sabi ng brand
Pwede
dito.
naman.
But anyway, yeah, ang alam ko lang is Angkas, Move It, Grab, whatever. So yun, wala akong alam. And then ang friends lang na meron ako dito ay yung friends ko from elementary to like grade 8 na still busy with school, and sila Yani.
Mm.
Na, of course, nasa UPLB din si Yani.
Oo.
So, sobrang parang lost ko nun. So, I guess I learned things as I was doing it na lang. Yeah. Honestly, living alone naman, I didn't have to adjust to it that much kasi nung nakatira ako sa Canada, hindi naman kami madalas magkita ng family ko kasi everyone's working. So kapag uuwi ako, papasok sila sa work. Kapag pauwi sila, papasok ako school or papasok akong work. So hindi rin kami nakikita. Ang difference lang is ngayon umuwi ako sa bahay na ako pa yung need mag-prepare ng sarili kong food. Ako yung gagawa sa sarili kong groceries. Which really helped me naman sa adulting journey ko, I would say.
Mm-mm. And were there moments na you doubted this decision to move back? Or was it like, okay, ito talaga yung gusto ko?
Hindi sa dinout ko. But, ang lagi kong pinangahawakan is, ayokong maging mistake yung pag-move back ko dito. So, ayun, parang andun ako sa
May kailangan patunayan.
hindi sa ibang tao ba sa sarili ko. Kasi, nung time na nag-move ako ng Canada, I had someone to blame. Na if I'm unhappy here, that's because my parents forced me to be here. But if I fail here in Manila and I become unsuccessful, I have no one to blame but myself. So, andun ako sa kailangan kong patunayan sa sarili ko na tama yung decision ko. I remember while we were doing the Sparks Camp auditions, we were filling up a form and they were trying to get to know our personalities na during that time. Nasa question doon, your biggest fear. Tapos ang nilagay ko, may pamukha sa akin na mali ang decision ko to stay here in the Philippines. That's my biggest fear. I could have said murder or what. I could get killed or whatever. Diba? Parang pwede ko sabing war. Pero hindi. Like, ang biggest fear ko talaga, honestly, is marinig at malaman na this is a wrong move. And na mali na I moved back. Kasi that's also, I think, para sa akin, para siyang sinasabi ng tao sa akin na mali na sinunod mo yung heart mo. Mali na sinunod mo yung gut mo na dapat ito lagi. Kasi when I stayed here, like, going back lang, last year kasi dapat babalik na talaga ako ng Canada. Last year, Feb 5 was my flight. As in, naka-impake na ako, naka-box sa lahat ng gamit ko. Mag-grab na lang ako pa airport. So, yun na.
Why didn't
And
you
then
push
I
through?
ditched my flight. Yeah, I decided the morning of my flight, sabi ko, I'm not gonna go.
How did your family, respond to those?
Nakausap ko naman sila dun sa, of course, the nights before my flight. Nagkakaroon ako ng reservations. And kami ng family ko, close kami. We're close enough kami para sabihin ko sa kanila na para ako nagkakaroon ng change of heart. Kasi September pa lang, binili ko na yung ticket eh. Tapos Feb na. So, ilang months na yon. So, that was always the plan. And kahit nung nag-move ako here noong November 2022, that was always the plan. Nababalik na talaga ako doon.
Pero why were you planning to move back?
Move back. Kasi I was just managing the family business. Hindi pa yun talaga permanent. And then, ayun nga, dapat babalik na ako.
Pero hindi mo talaga pinlan na once you move back here, eto na
Andito
talaga,
na, hindi
permanent.
pa. So marami talagang season.
Ang dami talagang back and forth.
Ang dami. So, ayun, nung lilipad na ako dapat, the nights before, parang nagkakaroon ako ng reservations. Parang sabi ko, bakit parang may mali? Nag-impake ako, yes. Parang binibenta ko yung gamit sa condo. So, like, tuloy-tuloy yung buhay kung ano yung dapat kong gawin. But at the same time, kahit ginagawa ko yun, parang may mali. Sa feeling ko parang may nangyayaring hindi naayon. Parang something's off. Para kung, I guess ngayon, looking back, feeling ko during that time, I was kind of like betraying myself. Kasi alam ko sa sarili ko na kapag yung heart ko lang yung pinakinggan ko, alam kong gusto ko magstay here. But the practical decision is to move back. Kasi andun yung buhay namin, ng family ko. Also opportunities, mas madaling kumita doon. School, andun. So, in terms of opportunities and yung gaan ng buhay, andun talaga. People would kill just to get that opportunity. Especially sa economy natin and sa government that we have right now. Of course, I understand that well. But, ayun nga, nagkakaroon ako ng reservations. And kapag ako lang mag-isa and pinaprocess ko kung ano yung nafe-feel ko about what's going on, bakit ako nagkakaroon ng reservations, ano ba meron sa Pilipinas, I felt like something was calling my name to stay. Na hindi ko rin alam bakit or paano. Kasi mawawalan ako ng titirhan. Nag-resign na ako dun sa advertising work ko. Like, wala nang, sinarado ko na yung chapter ko here. So, and then, yung work ko doon, nag-work kasi ako sa isang hotel before. I worked as a supervisor for a hotel. And then, may schedule na ako ng work ko doon for the next 2 months. So, for Feb, March, April, may work schedule na ako doon sa Canada. So, all set na eh. All set na yung
Ready
life
na
ko doon.
yung life na babalikan mo.
Parang ako na lang talaga hinihintay. And nasarado ko na yung life ko here. So, ito bang tumatawag sa akin? Like, ano ba to? Ginugulo lang ba ako? Kasi aligned na lahat eh. Nakaplano na lahat. So, what was that? But I guess, it was a leap of faith. It was a leap of faith. Na, also I made sure naman na hindi ako magsistay na zero lang. I talked to people. I talked to my previous employer sa ad agency. Parang nag-express ako ng nung reservations ko nga. And hindi ako nag-ask ng job back. But parang as a mother, kasi yung CEO namin, parang very mother namin siya. And then sabi niya sa akin, parang if you really want to stay here, parang you can come to my office and maybe we could talk about something. Maybe I could offer a position for you, whatever. But ang pinaka-important na line na sinabi niya sa akin was, faith and fear cannot coexist. Sabi niya, kung magtitiwala ka sa sarili mo na kaya mong mabuhay dito, na kaya mong patakbuhin yung sarili mong buhay and to take charge of your own life. Kung magtitiwala ka sa sarili mo, magtiwala ka ng buo. Huwag kang magkaroon ng faith sa sarili mo with fear coexisting. Pumili ka. Kasi it was a big life-changing decision eh. So I also have to choose kung ano yung parang mananaig. Kung yung faith ko ba sa sarili ko, yung fear. And it was a leap of faith. And parang sabi ko, tama. I think kailangan kong maniwala sa sarili ko. And yeah, I think doors opened for me as soon as I stayed here.
nag-open biglang Sparks Camp.
Yes, not just Spark Scam, parang, kasi Spark Scam didn't happen until 2 months after I stayed.
Yeah.
But during the gap, nagtuloy-tuloy yung brand increase sa akin. So, kaya kong buhayin yung sarili ko. Also, may coworkers ako who really supported me kung may kailangan ako. Feeling ko si God noon during that time, parang sinasabi sa akin na you made the right decision. Ito, ipoprovide ko sa'yo lahat ng kailangan mo, lahat ng tao na kailangan mong, na you need to be surrounded with, the opportunities that you need. Feeling ko, pinush ni God lahat para mapagtibay ko yung faith ko sa sarili ko and maybe faith ko sa Kanya. And then yes, of course, Sparks Camp happened, and that was I felt like it was a really long journey, to be honest. Although it was a week of filming, parang the entire journey started after. Kasi it filmed early May. It didn't air until July.
Yeah.
So yung
Tapos
entire gap
hanggang
nun,
September ata siya.
yeah. So yung entire gap nun na I was waiting kung, my God, pag in-air ba to, how would I be perceived? How would people see me? Kasi people see me sa social media na maingay, madaldal, funny. But kapag nakita ba nila na quiet and boring lang pala talaga si Kim, na ganun, iisipin ba nila na I was trying to like make a personality, or parang was I faking it? Nag-create lang ba ako ng personality sa TV para maging ganito, ganyan. So marami tumatakbo sa utak ko while you're waiting for it to air. But I guess yun nga, surrounded by people na was going through the same. Of course, I was with my fellow campers who were thinking of the same things. We were going through same challenges and problems. So really, from the time that I stayed here up until now, I would say continuously nasusurround ako ng tao and opportunities na relevant sa kung ano yung pinagdadaanan ko ngayon and yung path na tatahakin ko. Yeah.
And with that, what do you think coming back and staying in the Philippines teach you that you don't think you would have learned if you went back abroad and if you still lived in Canada?
Good question. I think hindi ko kasi siya naisip as kung hindi ko yun tinuloy, hindi ko to matututunan, or kapag ginawa ko to, ito yung matutunan ko instead. But I think dun sa entire journey ko from living in Canada for 7 years, achieving so many things but not feeling fulfilled and things not making sense, feeling ko lahat ng ginagawa ko ngayon, nag-make sense lahat ng ginagawa ko dati. Nag-make sense why while I was a manager, I was leading people who were way different from who I am, of different backgrounds. It really made me develop yung empathy and understanding and yung ability ko to socialize and be with other people, be with strangers. That made sense when I moved back here and lived alone. Kasi kung hindi ko alam yung skill na yun, baka umiiyak lang ako. In terms of like doing different stuff for yung managerial and then auditing and then different, yung pagpuno ko ng CV ko. Dito kasi sa Pilipinas, if wala ka namang degree, di ka pwede mag-work. And when I applied to my current ad agency, I was still doing school. So, hindi mag-make sense na tanggapin nila ako. But when they saw my CV, puno siya. And had enough experience to prove that I was worthy of that position. So lahat ng ginagawa ko noon na feeling ko walang sense of fulfillment, na walang pinatutunguhan, I found out na meron siyang patutunguhan, and it made sense. It all made sense nung I took a leap of faith and trusted myself and trusted my heart. So lahat ng yon, that entire journey, it all made sense. Yeah, so I think andito ako sa journey ko ngayon. Dito ako sa time ng life ko ngayon na nagme-make sense lahat. Parang, I think, mas naging buo, mas complete, mas sarado na lahat yon essential parts para maintindihan ko kung sino ako ngayon, anong gusto ko, ano pa yung gusto kong marating at kung saan pa ako papunta.
And we
Yeah.
went through the entire afternoon talking about, yun nga, in different seasons
Yes.
in life mo and how you embrace each season differently. But now, navigating your 2026, what do you think this season is teaching you or telling you naman?
I think this season is teaching me to try and to embrace whatever's in front of me. Also to become more intentional with what I'm doing. Ayun nga, I lived a life na very routine. Nag-function ako through routines. Last year, I was even functioning with work bahay before Sparks Camp at least. But now, recently, I started doing Muay Thai. I've been traveling more. I am trying to explore the Philippines more. Feeling ko, andito ako sa season ng life ko na mas bukas akong tanggapin kung ano man yung possible na dadating sa akin or kung sinong or anong version of Kim yung magiging ako. Kasi I was always, yun talaga naging biggest challenge ko throughout the years. I was always closed and firm and boxed. And now I feel like I'm more ready to accept whatever it is that I need to face. Yeah, I think I lived a life na I like reading kasi. So I see my life as like different chapters. Just as much as how I see Sparks Camp as an entire chapter of my life. And now I'm not there anymore. Wala na ako dun sa chapter na yon. But that doesn't mean na hindi siya necessary sa character na who I am today in this chapter. So yun, I feeling ko andito lang ako sa readiness to get through more chapters in my life.
I agree with what you said though, na parang yung life natin is a series of chapters.
Yes.
Na parang each chapter leads us to improve on our character and be able to be a stronger person. And kaya nga, actually, this series that we have right now is just talking about how we embrace the different seasons of our life and how each one allows us to grow and really embrace each one positively and just impact ourselves and one another. Well, and yeah, so thank you, Kim, for being our pilot guest
Wow.
for this segment. And actually, ang ganda ng conversation natin on parang even throughout the different seasons, parang there's the common theme of new beginnings.
Yes.
And I'm really excited then to see where you go
Me
pa
too.
after this.
Woohoo!
And I'm sure na ang dami pang dapat tutukan ng mga tao about you. And I think this is your time now already. Where can they watch you, to see you, and ano bang mga dapat nilang abangan?
Right. Well, right now, focused ako sa day job ko, but I'm still actively posting sa contents ko. You guys can follow me at Kim Bejarano on all social media platforms. Tutok lang tayo sa mga next ganaps. I can't disclose anything just yet. But ayun.
Host, may dapat kaming abangan.
Maybe!
Ayan. So, dapat ninyong abangan ang mga magaganap pa kay Kim sa kanyang journey, sa kanyang mga next chapters.
Yes.
And of course, sa bagong chapter din ng GKY, ay huwag niyo kalimutan tutukan din dahil marami pang upcoming na magaganap, lalo na sa GKY Live this May 23. Abangan ninyo ang post ng GKY on sino ang mga makakasama nating guests. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, why not hit subscribe and follow and give us 5 stars and share us your thoughts on whatever you've learned or kung ano man yung gusto nyong i-impart or anything that nakuha ninyong insights from our episode and kwentuhan with Kim. And kung gusto ninyo tong i-post in your IG stories, you may do so and tag us. It's at GKYPod on all social media platforms. And ako naman, the Charles Jacob on all social media platforms. At ito pa rin ang ganito kasi yan.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.